not get into that kind of decision making, but I'll give you a nod out. As Walker seems to be a very busy man this morning. Heave this one past the man at short extra cover, and it goes out to the boundary fence. This time it runs into the boundary for 4. Walker moves on to 4 more. 23 for Walker, 27 for 1. We are in over number 3.
He's batting with much more confidence now, and the decision to promote him to open the batting has certainly paid off at this point. What he needs to do now, what Cato needs to do, is to partner him, because he's on the go. He's got 23 of 9 deliveries, which is very fast scoring. So Cato will need to give him most of the strike and partner him, not try to get out, but ensure that they put a good partnership up. They've lost 1 wicket. They're 27 for 1, which is not too bad a score. They're scoring now at 9 runs and over. And that's a good scoring rate for the opening overs.
Well, Shaman Hooper continues to Cato. Leg delivery, short of a leg, pull away in front of the man there at mid-wicket, and he runs around, cleans it up cleanly, and sends it back in, powerfully returned. 2 more runs to the total. Romel, with this platform that is being set by Walker, and I should say Cato, at what point would you call the captain Gidron to bat, knowing that he can add some momentum to this innings?
Well, in truth and in fact, Gidron has really been struggling. I think it's only the last match where he got a decent total.
Chickled over the field, 1 more to the total.
Yeah, so it's going to be imperative that Walker and Cato stick around for as long as possible, because in the last match again, Cato, I think he was the man of the match. He gave some impetus to his team, and they were able to cross the finish line, winning their first game. So it's vitally important that, like I said, Cato and Walker to bat as much of the overs as possible.
And Finley, we need to remind our viewers, we're still in the power play, just 3 shy of the power play. Do you think that Walker, after the power play, should just continue his momentum seeking runs?
Yes, he has to. That's what took 10 over.
It's a wide delivery, like that one past the man at point, and that runs to the third man boundary. That's 4 more to Walker. Well, what are they to start, and what are we for Walker to be scoring?
Yes, they must continue this momentum. They've got a good momentum going. Cato, Walker is the aggressor, so he's got to continue in this mood. Then scoring at 9.27 runs and over, which is quite good.
Pulled away, short fine leg. Just can't pass the man at short fine leg. At this time, he will be peeved with himself. That one, with the momentum that he's going, and we will see in cricket, his blood is flowing freely. And he have gotten the license to hit that ball, and he's chased that one, but can't pass that man at somewhat of a whitish cover, and they scamper you for 1. End of the power play, 35 for 1. What do you think?
Well, it's not a bad power play by any means. They're going at just about 9 runs and over, or thereabouts. So the important thing is that they've only lost 1 wicket. All right, so there is a platform on which to launch. So that would be critical. I mentioned what Cato was able to do in the last game. It's important here now, going into the middle overs, they do not lose any wickets while keeping the momentum going. Finley mentioned Walker, the role Walker has to play in terms of continuing what he has been doing thus far, and I agree with him. He is the aggressor, he is in, so he really has to take the mantle. Cato has a bit of time to catch up. Give the strike to Walker as much as possible.
Seelroy comes into the attack. He's been a wicket taker when the Dark V Explorers says, they say he's bowled him. It is not even out of my mouth as yet. Walker goes looking to heave Seelroy Williams over the top. Well, he strikes just as we are out of the power play, Mr. Finley.
Well, I think he made a rash shot at that delivery. He lifted his head before he saw what was happening. It was a good delivery. It was on a very good length, almost Yorker length. And because he didn't put his head down and look to stroke the ball, he rather attempted to hit as if he was looking for a six, over straight six or over mid-off. He lost his wicket. And the players have got to avoid that sort of thing, because the scoring rate fell a little bit, but not by much. It was 9.2 or something like that. It fell to 8.75. But that's not bad. You have to respect the bowlers. The bowlers can also bowl good overs. So here's a man who was going so well, and to lose his wicket when its team needs him more than ever, it's sad.
Well, just spoke of Pope. He now comes to the crease. Gideon Pope facing up his first delivery to Williams, 35 for 2. We're into over number 5. And over number 5. And what a day here for cricket. Good sunshine pouring out here, blistering hot after 10 in the morning, Mr. Finley. The best place to be is right where we are sitting here.
Yeah, we're in AC comfort. It must be very sticky out there, because we've been having a lot of rain over the past week. Incidentally, the heavy clouds we saw a while ago have now cleared up.
Well, it appears that Gideon Pope is dropped there from C.O. Williams for his first delivery. A drop ball by the keeper. Well, confidence, as our fellow commentator was alluding to, from Pope, it's not really playing, as he tucked that one into the mid-wicket region and get 1. He's off the mark, 36 for 2. Mr. Finley, boy, oh boy, what a way to search for the Dark View Explorers to ask the full style strikers.
Pope has really been struggling. I wonder if he should have dropped himself down a little further, because he hasn't shown any confidence at all, and with this sort of poor form, it's not going to be good for him. He's out there struggling. He's thinking, well, what can I do to get some runs? And that's going to put more pressure on him.
Well, a disappointing feeling there by Hooper at backward point. He missed that one. It went through his leg. It went to the boundary for National Lottery 3. The boundary brings up the total to 40. Cato moves on to 10 from 8 deliveries. This one, he swipes it over the top of mid-wicket. Cow corner region, that's gone for 6. Cato seems to take up the slot from where Walker has left.
Well, somebody needs to take up the slack, and Cato, who was there before Pope, would be the man to do it. And he has shown that he's capable of doing it. Whether he keeps his head on now, and he should take the lead role, and Pope should give him most of the strike. And between them, they should have a lot of mid-pitch conversations to ensure that they're doing the right thing all the time.
Well, mid-wicket conversation is not important, because this one is heaved away again. Another super 6. Well, Cato reigning 6s here at Adamsville playing field. Romel, this is what the 4 Charlotte strikers will want to see.
Definitely. It has been long in coming. I think throughout the tournament, well, prior to the last game they played and this game, they played a bit timid, and this is what we have been asking for from the 4 Charlotte strikers all along. You have to play, you have to back yourself, back your ability. This is 10-10 cricket. There's no time to be timid at all. You have to put runs on the tin. You have to give your bowlers a chance, a fair chance to defend the total that you put on the tins. And so not Darren Gibbs, Cato has been going well. He has to continue. He has to see himself as the main man going forward. And Walker has lost his wicket, as Finley said. So he has to take the mantle, give Gideon Pope, the captain, a time to get in. So, but it is incumbent upon Gideon now to turn over the strike. Take the single, watch a couple balls, watch what Cato does.
Well, Matthews, number 10 on his back, comes into the attack. Very young Matthews, a youngster. And he will be bowling up to Pope, spinner, swing and a miss. And we're into over number 6. I would like to ask, based on the team prospectus, we have what we call overseas players. with the wealth of this one is played in the air, a wide delivery, only managed to get it to the man at short third man. Pope goes with his poor form as usual for the tournament, and boy, Matthews pick up Pope, and they are 52 for 3.
But he picked the wrong ball to swing at, and he had been swinging rather than stroking. The thing is, if the ball is a half ball, you can afford to swing once it gives you width. But if it's a little wide of the stump and you swing, it's bound to take the edge and go high in the air, as happened here. And he's really having a miserable season. He's got to go back to the nets now and reorganize his cricket. It's not easy to be playing a tournament and not scoring runs. It plays on your mind each time you get to the crease. And that's not going to do that is too much pressure for a batsman. If you are not experienced, you just can't pull yourself out of it, and he's just having a miserable time.
Remember a bit of bother there for Charlotte strikers, but Dark Vespers will always welcome the position that they have gotten the 4 Charlotte strikers in.
It's not the ideal position for strikers, but to look on the bright side of things, Cato is still there. He's still there. Gideon, he has been out of form all throughout the season, so it was not really surprising to see him lose his wicket the way that he did. But they still have to be positive. Singles are an offer. Give Cato the strike.
Well, that brings Lavier into the strike at a crease. A delivery that passed him outside the outside edge to the keeper. And, wide delivery this time. Lavier swings down the ground. It's a super six welcome delivery. It appears that Lavier was warming up all the time in the hut. Second delivery strike for 6.
He got a gift. It was a half volley and right in the slot, and he just went with it. But it's good. You come to the wicket and you're able to take advantage of a loose ball from your first delivery. That's good.
This one beats the outside edge. Oh, he holds his head in anticipation. Maybe there would have been a slight edge or just clipping the top of off stump. And good axe here from young Matthews, a youngster. And he's bowling some good deliveries, asking Lavier a lot of questions as the over comes to end. Over number 6, 58 for 3, and somewhat of a seesaw position to be in, Romel.
Yeah, well, that's the 4 Charlotte strikers for you. They have Cato at the crease. Lavier normally bats a bit, the lower end. So batting 5 today, I'm guessing that they have decided to change things up a bit, try a few strokes. This is their last match, I believe, in the preliminaries. They have to make a competitive total here against Darkview Explorers because, like I said before, Darkview Explorers, they're really on a winning roll. Their batting has been doing tremendously well for them thus far, so they would need to get in excess of 100, I would like to believe, in order to be competitive. The wicket so far seems to be good for batting. Is nothing extraordinarily bad about it in any way. So they really have to put the runs on the tin and give their bowlers a chance to defend it. They have no choice really. They want to qualify.
Remember, the first wicket fell at 1 and the second at 34, third at 54, and just a last delivery was struck Lavier in the groin area. As you see, Lee C. Roy Williams continuing the attack, and I will ask, gentlemen, the overseas players, would you say that they have brought the expectancy that we have seen some performance from a couple of the players, but do you think that they have brought the expectancy that we have been looking for, or because of the nature or the version of the game, it have been asking too much of them? Well, this one, talking about expectancy, Kato is answering our question as he struck this one straight down the ground. 6 more, brings up 223 sixes in the tournament so far. Well, it is super Wednesday. Sixes are given away.
I won't say that the overseas players have brought anything extra to the competition. I'm not sure if they have been involved in 10-10 cricket before. I'm not sure what the situation is in their own countries, in Grenada and Dominica, in terms of whether they're playing cricket or not. But one would have expected them to do more, because they are indeed regional first-class players. They're Grenada Islands players, and they play in the 50 over and 20 games, and they should have brought a little more to the game. Could be that they're out of form on this occasion.
And Rommel, do you see it as a case where the team demeanor is you are the experience, you are the first class player? We're talking about experience. This one is struck down the ground. I told you about Lavier. He seems to wake up in a no-nonsense mood, and he struck this one straight as a pin down the ground. 6 more, 72 for 3.
Yeah, good shot there by Lavier. I think C.Y. Williams was guilty of floating that a bit too close to the batter. Yes, it's good that you're trying to bowl slow, try to extract some turn, but your lengths have to be correct. Your lengths on line have to be correct.
Pull away. I'm too long on. Only one. And I just got a message here from Ronil Jeffrey. He said, that's what I like to see in cricket, because I know had I been there, those balls would have been tearing over the airport. Good morning to Ronil Jeffrey in Tortola. He would have liked to be in this tournament, 10-10 cricket. As we see, Kato comes into strike. He misses that one. A bit of turn there as it passes Kato bat. And the end of the 7th over, 73 for 3. So a good position to be in, Mr. Finley, for the Charlotte after a couple of sixes there.
They are in a reasonable position. 73 for 3. I think 2 of their batsmen gave their wickets away when they were doing so well. Was it Kato? Walker was batting extremely well, and he gave it away. And the team would have been in a better position if he had not done that. So there, I'm sure, would be saying that we should have been in a better position, but we missed out on our focus.
Well, Matthews continue. An off-break delivery. Onto the onside is Camper for 1. And Romel, I was asking earlier on, have you the feeling that the teams have put the boarding on the overseas players with their first-class experience? On the ground.
Well, I wouldn't say that really. We've had some decent performances by the overseas players. A lot of the cricketers here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, they themselves would have played first-class cricket at some point. So the expectancy...
Well, he's run out. He's run out at delivery plate to short third man, trying to take a quick single. Lavier go at a very crucial point when they were really up in the run rate and putting some impetus to it. They are 74 for 4. Lavier goes to the run out route.
Yeah, that was poor running. That was hit directly to the fielder. They didn't need to do that because they were going well. Lavier he struck, I think, 2 sixes. He was getting himself in. So it would have been ideal for him to remain there to the very end. I think the 4 Charlotte strikers, they keep making elementary mistakes, and it has caused them throughout the tournament. That wasn't a run at all. But yes, as I was saying about the overseas players, yes, they came in. Given the fact that they are current first-class players, you expect a certain level of performance, and but that shouldn't take away from the fact that when you look at the setup of all the teams thus far, all the teams that are playing in the tournament, all of them have first-class players in their team. Whether or not they're current or past, they're still first-class players who are looking to continue, who are looking to continue playing cricket at a high level, and they would want to get back in the run of things. When I say the run of things, get back into the Windward Islands team to represent the Windward Islands in the regional 4-day or 1-day or T20 tournaments.
Well, Ray Jordan comes to the crease, and Kato is on strike. As he pulls this one down the ground, they're going for one. Can they come back for the second take on the arm of Shaman Hooper? Or there's somewhat of a poacher to the bowler, and they scamper through for two. Good running. These two are also Windward Island players, so they will have a bit of a communication going for each other. And the total now moves on to 77 for 4. Kato 31 from 16, delivery a good cameo. And Matthews, this one, he heaves it down the ground. It could be taken. Darren Grace comes around. He misses that just over his back, and it goes into the rope for 6. Well, what a day. What a day it is for Kato. 6 runs it is. And,
yeah, that was a bit fortuitous. Had Darren Graves been right back on the ropes, he would have taken that, because as we saw, that ball just fell over the rope. So a bit fortuitous there by Kato, but it's good going. He has been striking it well. He needs to continue in that vein if the 4 Charlotte strikers hope to get a competitive enough total to challenge the Dark View Explorers and their powerful batting lineup.
And it will be intriguing to see when Jordan comes out to the feeling to do the bowling, if he will take on the Chak, and I haven't seen a pace attack as yet to really make an assessment. But talking about pace, it now brings Brown into the attack, Shaquille Brown, and this will determine how the pace attack goes into this is the 9th over of the innings. We really haven't seen any more extracted from the Chak, and Shaquille Brown really been asking a lot of questions and answering calls, knocking at the door of the national team.
Well, Shaquille to me has had an up and down tournament. Sometimes you're not too sure what you're going to get from him. On one day he can be extremely difficult to bat, bowling some nice lines and lengths. On other days he can be a bit erratic. So the consistency on a whole has been lacking in Shaquille's game, but he has some talent. He has been a prodigious talent from since he was a youngster. He just has to harness it a bit more. He has to be more diligent in his whenever he goes into the nets and whenever he's doing any sort of training.
Well, I don't know what time zone of the world you're in, but in St. Vincent it is a hot morning here, and runs are following 83 for 4 into the 9th over. We are T10 competition is Dream 11, and if it's morning or evening in your part of the world, well, you have exciting cricket coming here. And boy, oh boy, let's see, it is Ray Jordan on strike, and Kato in the crease. Wide delivery cut away out to the cover boundary. The sweeper comes off and he cleans up Miles Bascom, that is, back to the keeper. And Romel, good tournament so far, exciting tournament on board fan code, and we have the St. Vincent and the Grenadines SG Corp Cricket Association. We have Visit 3, and we have our partners right here from ITFX SVG. They're doing the broadcasting part of it, and a lot of partners coming on board and really doing it here for the VPL T10. And we see Brown into Kato, wide struck into his pad. Philly, have you ever got one of those deliveries struck you into the legs in your time?
Yeah, once you play cricket and you have fast bowlers, you get that sort of delivery. Ball that comes into you, you miss it, and it slams into your thigh. Sometimes you have the thigh pads on, but it hits just inside the thigh pad, and it's painful. It's very painful, and that's when you're not side on. Cricket is a side on game. If you're square on, you get those blows more than if you're side on.
Short delivery out to the man at cover. He comes out swiftly with one bounce to him. in this camp at 2-for-1. This will be a little bit of competition because Brown and Jordan have always have their little banter. And Jordan, a no-nonsense cricketer, somebody like a Keswick Williams who believe that, I'm not really a batsman, but I could hang with my hand, Mr. Finley. And you will always see that aggressive nature, not in a bad way, but to show that I have the upper hand.
Well, every player on the cricket team ought to be able to bat to some extent. You may not be a Brian Lara or a Sunil Ambrose, but at least you can watch the ball and strike it well and get the odd 4 and play the defensive shot not too badly and so on and so forth.
Well, this one is not an odd 4. This one is a very welcome 4 by Cato. And National Lottery 3D boundary again brings up the total to 90. 41 for Cato. He really takes up the slot from Rickford Walker earlier on. And boy, oh boy, he has come to the party. What a time to come to the party.
Yeah, and it's important here as the overseas player. I know he hasn't had the best of times compared to his other compatriots who have flown in to represent the various teams here. But he is showing what he is worth. He's batting extremely well. He has 41 off 19 deliveries. So the Fort Charlotte Strikers would be happy that he's going so well and would look for him to settle and finish the game.
Well, what a shot, clipped off the legs, down to short fire leg. It goes for 4 into the boundary, 45 for Cato. Mr. Finney, that will remind you a little bit about Viv Richards.
Well, more Brian Lara than Viv Richards.
So that's a right hand Brian Lara.
Oh, Brian Lara had this flick that he flicked with his foot in the air. But it was a good shot. It was just short of a good length. It was going down the leg side. He went into his wicket and he flicked it down. It looked quite good. It looked like the shot of an expert. But he's batting extremely well. He took over after the lost Walker and he's continuing.
Well, slow delivery, plays this one over cover. I believe it dropped on the rope. One bounce and it confirms there by the umpire. One bounce into the rope and do we have him changing his decision there? Or let's see. Well, he has changed the decision. I believe that one hit flush into the rope. It now confirms it's a Super 6. Super 6 brings up the 50. A well-played 50 there by Cato. And boy, oh boy, oh boy, what a time to come to the party. Free license being given since it's the last game of the preliminaries for Charlotte. They are 98 for 4, 50 up for Cato Romero.
Excellent batting by Cato. He came down the wicket. The ball was shown wide and he was able to still capitalize. And that is what an overseas player ought to do. He's following in the footsteps of Ryan John, who has been an excellent addition to the Salpan Breakers. So too has Theophile to some extent. So I think what the Cricket Association has done in this version of the VPL 2.0, I think it's a beautiful, a wonderful initiative to have invited the players from around the Windward Islands to come and play a part in this cricket, because at the end of the day it's all West Indies cricket. The more cricket that is being played is the better for West Indies cricket. And so when you look at the VPL 2.0 and the VPL, the first edition, I was fortunate to look at both editions. I think this edition really, the quality and the standard of play, the feeling, the bowling, you're seeing bigger scores, you see more consistency throughout. It has really improved leaps and bounds.
Well, talking about leaps and bounds, it brings up the 100 now for the Fort Charlotte Strikers. 100 for 4 as we see Dean Brown, he comes into the attack. Current run rate of 11.11. Good axe here by the Fort Charlotte Strikers. Well, this over will be more of a solitary over. What you get from it, you take from it. And it will be a helter-skelter kind of wide outside the arse stump. It's swing and a miss. And what will be the role of Jordan now? Just give back the strike to Cato, Mr. Finley.
Yes, Cato should be taking most of the strike now in this final over. But unfortunately, he is not on strike. And what the batsman should be doing is to try to pick a single up and give the strike to Cato.
It's a rarity of a dot ball, but it's a welcome one for the Dark View Explorers. It's time. Jordan swings one bounce into the boundary, and National Lottery 3 the boundary. Well, I'm showing you all that not only Cato could come to the party, but I'm also here.
Yeah, Ray Jordan, as we all know, yes, we know him as a fast bowler, but in the local competition, he bats pretty well. He bats, I think, at number 5 or number 6 for his local club. So I'm not really surprised that he's capable of playing these sort of shots. This is the last over. Actually, we're into the last 4 balls. They have 6 wickets in hand. So Jordan, I believe, should just continue going gung-ho. The ball goes in the air. Cato has to cross so that he gets on strike. So they really have to push and push very hard, try to maximize as possible, get boundaries. They should be thinking boundaries. The singles are on offer. The fielders are on the circle.
Well, a bit of adjustment to the field as this one. When it goes through for a bye, there was a bit of adjustment where the third man comes up and the square leg goes back to the square leg boundary. Yeah. And as we see, scamper through for 1. Just a bye there. Not quiet over, we will see. Just 5 off the over, 105 for 4.
Yeah, that is what I was talking about. If a good ball is bowled, you just have to run. You have 6. Cato has to get back on strike. Either you hit the ball for 4, or single is gotten where Cato can strike it. So every batsman here on has to go hard.
This one pounding into the ground, down to the mid wicket. They're going for 1. They could come back for the second. They take on the arm of Joe Williams, and he have to jump actually to evade that one. They reach for 2, and Jordan looking for 3 in that one. But a good show. Well, not a good show as the keeper would have wanted, Finley, but they back for 2, and Cato is back on strike.
Yeah, they put the fielder under pressure because you would have seen from the very first run that they made, they were striving for 2, and they turned very quickly and got back, and that put the fielder under pressure. So the throw was not as accurate as it should have been because he was concentrating on collecting and preventing the extra run.
This one pulled down the chalk. Lack of timing on that one. They only settle for 1, so that means Jordan will get the last legitimate delivery. Should be the legitimate delivery, and should be the last ball of the over. We see a little bit of discomfort there from Dean Brown. Seems to be holding his tie. Wow, somewhat quiet over as we are accustomed to. This one he runs through. Oh, look at that. Jordan stands at the crease asking the umpires questions, and abided, end up scampering for a bye at the end of the over, and it's all peaceful in 109 for 4 at the end of 10 over. Jordan 7 from 7. Cato, the man of the moment, 54 from his 23 delivery, a run rate of 10.9. Gentlemen,
that's a good score. I said before the innings started that they'll need to get 100, 120, and maybe if they had batted better in partnerships, if Walker had not got out when he did, and he had remained with Cato in this critical partnership, they would have got some runs. So Walker got 28 off 13 before he was bowled by Williams. Silra Williams, he didn't score. He was run out, a mix-up there. Cato got 54 not out, and he had batted extremely well. He took the bulk of the responsibility in the batting. And then Lavier appeared to have been going well before he was run out for 14. Jordan got 7 not out, and they reached 109 for 4 of their 10 overs with 5 extras, and that is not a bad score at all. Could have been 120 or so. As far as the bowling is concerned, Graves didn't take a wicket from his 2 overs. 11 runs were struck off him, so he had the economy rate of 5.5. Hooper, no wicket for 24 runs. Williams, 1 for 32, economy rate of 16. Matthews, 1 for 16, an economy rate of 8. And Brown, none for 16. And Desmond Brown, 1, none for 7. So the bowling, a couple bowlers allowed too many to go off them. 12 Hooper, 16 Selroy Williams, and 16 Brown, the fast bowler. They bowled too expensively. They could have tightened it a bit and would have got the Fort Charlotte strikers under a little more pressure. Now it's not a bad score. It's a total they can defend, but it's also a total that the Fort Charlotte strikers, with responsible batting, with sensible batting, can get quite easily.
And Romel, the dark view explorers that when they have the bowling under control at one point, they seem to like relax themselves and it will get out of hand. And from the time, because Cato was there and they leave it sometime and it gets out of hand. Now total of 109.
Yeah, I thought Darren Graves bowled very well at the very top. He kept it simple. That is what I liked about his bowling. Sharman Hooper was the one who partnered him. I noticed when he was bowling, he was trying leg breaks and off breaks, and that can be difficult to control. You know, if you're off break bowler, it's best to stick with that. You know, you don't want to be trying too much things while the game is being played. You know, that's why when you have net sessions, you perfect your art. You know, you're trying to be a jack of all trades. You're gonna stumble in between. So that is what I think. That is why I think Darren Graves did well. He did not try too many things. He concentrated on the lines and lengths going forward. Some of the other bowlers, they did not do that. You know, they experimented a bit too much. I was looking at the scorecard, the batting scorecard, and I noted that there were 25 dot balls. 25. That's almost half of the number of legal deliveries. So that really that says something about the batting. One, they're not taking enough singles, right? They're relying too much on the big hits. Yes, the big hits are important in T10 cricket, but it's important that whenever you get a good ball, you're able to at least get a single, because more often than not, the fielders are on the edge of the circle. So imagine if you were to get singles, and whenever the bad balls come along, you get those sixes and those fours. You'll be 140, 150, right? And it also says something about the bowlers in terms of their consistency. They're able to bowl 25 dot balls, and yet in between that, they bowl a half volley or a long hop. So the consistency needs to be looked at there, right? So St. Vincent cricket on the whole, I think, is improving, and I mentioned the fact that when compared to the very first edition, the VPL, this by far has outshone it. The bowling on a whole generally have improved leaps and bounds. So to have the batting and the fielding. So I really must give credit to the SVG Cricket Association and its president Dr. Kishore Shallow and all the partners who are involved, Dream 11 and so forth, for seeing what St. Vincent and the Grenadines has to offer in terms of talent and organization and so on, and they were willing to put the necessary resources in the tournament to make this a possibility. And I strongly believe as this tournament progresses next year, once it comes along again, I'm sure the option will be there for the president of the Cricket Association to possibly invite more players from outside and make it even more competitive going forward. All right, so kudos to all the planners in the association and all the partners who were so willing to partner with the association.
Well, that will be a decision from managerial position, but as it deals with cricket, we will be back shortly, and we'll see strong, steaming hot sun here at the Arnos playing field. Remember, this is Dream 11 2010 cricket competition here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines 2.0, and it's coming to you live from St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and with the kind compliments of Gm11, fan code Vincy, our partners as ITFX SVG, and the National Lotteries and the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Cricket Association Inc. We will be right back with a trace from the Fort Charlotte Strikers and the Dark View Explorers.
Dark View Explorers, the Grenadines divers, Fort Charlotte Strikers. Somebody celebrate your team. Last team breakers, the Southbound Breakers, Botanic Garden Rangers. It's from the bleachers we will see. VPL is more flavor, more vibes. VPL that bring the stadium alive. VPL, this is the joy of we life. It's the Vincy Premier League. Hills, mountains, high. Man, woman, shy, brown, Vincy, hands up high, and let me hear you say.
Well, welcome back here to the Arnos playing field here in St. Vincent, and we have an exciting run chase for you. It's the Dark View Explorers. They're taking on the Fort Charlotte Strikers. The Fort Charlotte Strikers, they have just batted and reached a amount total of 109 for 4, and Dark View Explorers, they now join the crease. I still have Mr. Finley with us and Romel. Gents, well, what a run chase it will be to have 109.
Yeah, looking forward to this run chase. As I've been saying all throughout this commentary, the Dark View Explorers, they are on a winning roll. They should be confident going forward.
Well, to open the ball is Ray Jordan. And just see him attack. We spoke earlier on about the pace starting the opening. Here they're accustomed to start with Ray Jordan, or we will see Nigel Small opening the attack. and they have one slip. They're asking for questions of wickets earlier on in the attack, and that could stifle the run chase there for the Dark Explorers, Romero.
Yeah, that's important. Miles Bascom has been their leading run scorer. So too has been, well...
This delivery beat the outside edge. It is really a good ask. Miles Bascom has no answers to that one.
Yeah. As I was saying, Miles Bascom has been their leading run scorer. Darren Andrews, he has contributed, contributed very well to their team as it relates to the batting. So it's important for the Fort Charlotte Strikers to try to get a wicket. Ray Jordan is the attacking bowler. You can't really afford to have 2 and 3 slips into 10, but you should really get a slip, give him a chance to get that wicket. Wicket slow down things.
Straight delivery. Good start so far by Ray. 3 dot balls. Miles, you played against Miles, played with Miles a couple times, Romel. Is he a batsman who likes the flair of the ball coming onto the bat, or he manufactures his own shot? What sort of player is he?
Well, for the years that I've played with Miles, I know if you as a bowler and you float a ball up in front of him, he has sufficient talent and strength and timing to dispatch it over the boundary. So that is one of the primary reasons he was selected for the West Indies tournament. I think he was extraordinarily good when he played for the CCC, especially, well, he was opening the batting, so.
Tucked in. Top delivery sort of. It's a quiet over. Can we see a maiden over to start in this T10 competition? There's 5 deliveries so far. Miles haven't been off the scorecard so far. He's just watching. Would you say he's paying dues or respect to Jordan, or he's just assessing the situation and the ball speed? Sorry.
Well, I think Bascom has realized that Jordan more than anybody else is the major weapon for the Fort Charlotte Strikers, and he is backing his ability to take advantage of the other bowlers that will be coming on. Miles, as I said before, he has been in excellent form going forward. So yes, he's making sure that they see off Ray Jordan. He has bowled an excellent over. He's good lines and length, but he's backing his ability. He's backing his ability to get the boundaries when needed and against the lesser, quote-unquote, lesser bowlers.
Well, it's a maiden over to start with, as we see that, a strange occurrence of a maiden over. It's something you would normally see Finley a maiden to start, but that is what we were alluding to with pace and asking questions from the pace.
But once the bowler is bowling well, there's a possibility to get a maiden over, and that was an extremely good over. And Miles batted very sensibly. Miles realized he's bowling he's batting to a good bowler who bowls a good line and length, and obviously had some pace from the pitch, which is freshly prepared and has a little bit of grass here and there. So he took his time. He figures that, look, if I take my time against this bowler, he can only bowl 2 overs, then the others will come and I'll take advantage of them because he's in form.
Rashid Fredericks comes into the attack. This time Miles sweeps this one past the man a short fine leg. He opens his account. 4 runs, National Lottery 3 the boundary. A welcome boundary there by Miles, and that's what you were referring to, Mr. Finley. And boy, 4 to Miles, 5 without loss.
Well, that's the thing with a good batsman. You play a maiden over and you're not unduly worried because you know there'll be lesser bowlers coming to you and you'll score. And that was an excellent shot by him.
Oh, had him hit that one, Miles would have been asking to be returned to the dressing room, but scamper 2 for 1. Rommel, do you think that is something that will be needed at this time? Well, it will be good for Forchal to get an early wicket, but it will not be a sight that the Dark Explorers want to see, especially to Miles Bascom. He's been good about the form. Ease this one over the third man boundary, going out to the rope. Thomas Cup cleans up and sends it back. The scamper 2 for 2. 2 more to the total, 8 without loss.
Yeah, they would want to ensure that they do not lose any wickets at all in the power play. These 2 batsmen, like I mentioned before, they have done exceptionally well for their team thus far in the tournament, so they will want to ensure that that continues.
This time Graves heave down the ground. If man comes around, he can't get there. Lavia it is, and they come back for another 2. So Graves seems not to get the middle of the bat, the timing right, and that will be something that will be very important if he had to carry this total. But good bowling there from Fredericks, not taking that away from him. Is pulled away to the mid-wicket boundary. Fielder comes around, cleans up very well, and they scamper 2 for 1. And they just settle for 1, which I think 2 runs could have been asked there. But they settle for 1, brings the total to 11 without loss after 2. And 110 the target. What's your take, Mr. Finney, so far?
It's early days yet. They're just 11 without loss. 2 overs have been bowled. It's early days yet. There are 2 good batsmen at the wicket, and they recognize that they will get loose balls, and they could take advantage of those loose balls, and they'll get the odd good ball that they could drive and pick up 2 or a single or maybe 4. So they are not unduly worried. They are pacing the innings quite well. They're not taking any risks. 109, 110 they need to get. And it's not a big score, but it could be a challenging score if they lose quick wickets, and that's what they're trying to avoid.
Well, Small comes into the attack, take over from Jordan at the administrative center end, and good ploy of bringing Small into the attack. They have somewhat stifled the run scoring, as the Dark Explorers have been accustomed to aggressively at the opening into power play number 3 over number 3, as we see Small straight delivery to Graves. And I think with Small, Rommel, he doesn't really turn the ball. He comes there and push it on the line, and it comes with some speed. So you play the ball on its merit and cannot look for turn, as this one is pulled into the middle-wicket boundary, and they go straight for 1.
Yeah, I think Miles Bascom, judging from the way he has played over the years, will fancy his chances against Small, because as you said, Small is not really a turn of the ball. He pushes it through very quickly, and that is something that Miles would want, because I don't think he has any need to play for any turn. He would just look to hit through the line, and he'll be hitting to the western side, which is normally the easier side in which to get a boundary.
Well, he's bowled him. It's a delivery skid right on. We talked about the turn. It wasn't turned. It came on, and boy, oh boy, Miles Bascom goes. Dark View Explorers loses their first wicket. It's 12 for 1. We're into over number 3.
Miles didn't have the room to play the shot he attempted. He wanted to give himself room to punch the ball on the offside, but it was too close to him, and it was straight and quick, and he just didn't have the room to punch the ball. And I think he miscalculated what happened, because they obviously were being very cautious, but he just missed out on that delivery. He's in so much form, and sometimes when you're in form, you lose your concept, your thinking, and your purpose in the game. because you think that you're in so much form that you could do anything, you can play any shot against any delivery. And maybe that's what happened to a little overconfidence, and maybe that's what happened to Miles, because he'd been batting so beautifully earlier that this was a real disappointing dismissal he had here. But like I said, sometimes overconfidence does that to a batsman. But they're still 12 for 1 is the start. 2.3 overs. That's only the start.
Well, a man who have got a lot of good stats in the tournament so far is at the crease. Shaman Hooper comes to the crease. Very talented left-handed batsman. Bowls to small bowls, and Hooper is off the mark. They will also see a bit of banter between Small and Hooper. They're from the same village, and normally have that little, bit of banter later on about who out and who got struck for 6. And welcome position to be in for the Dark Vex, the 4 Charlotte Strikers. 1 more to the total, 14 for 1. And they are from the community of Petit Bodel. It's on the northwestern side of the island. So slip been deployed for Hooper. Oh, good delivery, straight to 1. Hooper just tucked it in the onside. 14 for 1 at the end of over number 3. 14 for 1. Good going here by the 4 Charlotte Strikers.
Yeah, the 4 Charlotte Strikers they've started the power play well. They just have to make sure that during the middle overs they continue bowling the way they have bowled thus far. Interestingly though, I've noted that Small seemed to have slowed down his deliveries, because normally you would associate Small with the type of bowler who really pushes it through, something like Anil Kumble. But I guess somebody had a word with him and he has slowed it down quite considerably, looking for more turn, and that has benefited his team by him taking the wicket.
Well, Fredericks back into the attack to finish up his 2 overs. As this one is struck straight down the ground, there is no run. We do not, Dark Vex players cannot stifle themselves into a hole that it will be hard to. Yes, we know they are power hitters, they are batsmen in the hut, but you do not want to leave the workload for the batsmen in the hut. You are at the crease, you take the singles, as you were alluding to with the first innings, and try to minimize the amount of dot balls. This one a wide delivery, misses. Second delivery cut and misses. And the Frederick seen that Gray's really not doing, his economy of movement is not much, but he's just pitching them just around outside. As this one he whipped it too wideish mid off. Comes back for 1. Just 1 to that total. As Hooper comes on strike, applauded there. Small the fielder, cleans it up. And total moves on to 15 for 1. We haven't seen a super 6 as yet, but I believe it's not far from here to open the eyes and open the account of the Dark View Explorers. Wide delivery again, misses. A welcome, somewhat of a welcome power play by the Dark View Explorers. They will be happy with the way things have started for them, kind of stifling the runs flow here for the Dark View Explorers. 4 Charlotte Strikers will welcome that at any time. Struck LBW at the brink of the end of the, well, at the end of the power play. Hooper goes pulling a short delivery, and a judge LBW Empire Grave. Well, what a time to lose a second wicket. 15 for 2.
Well, they're under some pressure now. Because Hooper is the kind of player that can put runs on the scoreboard very quickly and efficiently. And the bowling was good. He was beaten outside the off stumper a couple of deliveries, and that ball was a little shorter that came into him, and he thought he could pull it down to mid-wicket, and he just missed it. He was so anxious to get to the wood because they hadn't been scoring as they wanted to. So there's good bowling, and the batsmen are under pressure. Lyndon James is now at the crease, and he is the captain, and he hasn't really come to the party as yet. He's a good player, he's a good batsman, has scored some runs, scored well in the first edition of this championship, but he's badly out of form. He doesn't seem to be in touch at all, and he wants now to bring his experience to the fourth in this game.
Well, Small comes back in the attack as he continues from the administrative centre end. 15 for 2. Good act here by the 4 Charlotte strikers. A delivery struck into the pad. Loud appeal not outside Empire. Please. And really stifling situation here, Romel. Dark View Explorers was not looking to be in a situation like this. Pull them! A delivery played on. Small takes his second wicket. Dark View Explorers, they are really sinking going around to the Dark View side, and they are 15 for 3.
Yeah, excellent ball by Small. The Dark View Explorers are really under some pressure. I don't think they assess the situation well enough. When you look at how Fredericks bowled the previous over, for the very first 5 deliveries, he kept them wide of the crease. He kept it bowling wide because he knew Darren Graves, he had a penchant for hitting on the leg side, so he kept them wide. It's just that last delivery he bowled to Shaman. He bowled it straight at the wicket. But the plan was clear. Keep bowling it wide, get the batsmen out of their comfort zone. So that was excellent going by Fredericks, and we see that Small, well, he has been slowing it up, something that he has not been accustomed to do. So that somebody must have spoken to him, and it's working out magnificently well for them thus far.
Well, we have seen Kato play a very welcome innings, and we have Alec Attanes. He now comes to the crease, another overseas player. He will need to answer some questions here from Small. Delivery outside there, stop missing, and the momentum is on for Charlotte strike. Do you think anything need to change or alter it at this time to get a different twist to it?
Well, they're on the back foot. And what they need to do is consolidate their position. Again, they need to settle in. They have really not had a good start to their innings. And the 2 batsmen here now need to settle in. 3 for 16 is a poor score in a limited overs game. 4.5 overs have been bowled. So you virtually have more than half of the overs gone, and you're only at 16 chasing 110. So you're in trouble, without doubt, except somebody comes here and plays a masterful innings of excellent stroke play and hard hitting and getting 6 and 4s and taking the doubles.
We're talking about 6 and 4. He's dropped it. He's dropped the Captain James. Well, what a disaster. Can this be detrimental? Walker, it is down there on the boundary. And Walker is a very good fielder. But wow, can this be detrimental to the 4 Charlotte strikers dropping Lyndon James and on 1? Well, that's the one he's dropped on top, but boy, oh boy.
It was an easy catch. It should have been taken by any standard. And Lyndon James is lucky. And whether they were suffer for it is left to be seen, because Lyndon is not in much form, and he's struggling. And he'd be delighted to have got off so easily, but his frame of mind, he's under pressure, and this could affect the ease with which he bats. And when you're tense and you're playing any sport, you are unlikely to perform at your best, because you are too tense. You are concentrating on avoiding an error rather than being positive.
Well, Williams comes into the attack, leg break bowler, and Romel, how can this drop catch play on the mind of the Fort Charlotte striker, knowing that James is still there? This delivery out to the man at cover, the sweeper. He takes it on the second bounce, the second opportunity. It will be now relief for Walker to see the back of James, and I think that was a reckless shot somewhat, even though he has to take on the charge. But boy, oh boy, he goes. The Dark View Explorers 17 for 4. Well, problems at Dark View.
Yeah, the Dark View Explorers, they're in a bit of a bother. It's going to be very difficult.
Real bother.
Yeah, real bother. It's going to be very difficult for them to get close to 109 runs going forward. But it had to happen. It had to happen. They found themselves under the pump. They had just gotten 15 runs from the power play, needing to get to 109. So they had to go. Somebody had to go. Somebody had to take the bull by its horn, and unfortunately Lyndon James was not able to execute the shot as cleanly as he would have liked. But the Fort Charlotte strikers will be happy to see the back of him.
Well, the momentum seems to be in the way of the Fort Charlotte strikers. They will be going up the fort, climbing happily, but going down to Darkview, it seems very dim and dismal here. But it will be Dean Brown who will be doing the work here now for Darkview Explorers. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, do we have a run chase on our hand. Leroy Williams. Short cut away onto the cover boundary. He's come for one Lavia, cleans it up, sends it powerfully back to the keeper. He moves on to 18 for 4. 18 for 4. Well, the Fort Charlotte strikers, they are in the driving seat.
Definitely are in the driving seat. Arnos is a left-hander, so he should have a slightly easier time when facing this leg break ball in the form of Williams. He would be hitting to the western side, as we've said on many occasions, the easier side in which to get a boundary. Like Lyndon, I hope, well, he has to take the initiative and try to get those boundaries.
A reverse sweep misses. Arnos has really not give us the kind of the run flow that we are looking for, but not taking it away from his capability. A youngster by look. This time he tried to sweep that one. Is it a wide? Wide signal by Empire Graves, and misses. And the confidence coming into the crease to play this kind of role now. How would it be playing on your mind?
Well, he must be full of confidence, because
he gets it past the man of short tall. 6 runs it is, reverse sweep over short tall. A welcome boundary here for the Darkview Explorers. A little bit of light has been shown in the Darkview area.
Yes, he was a good shot. He must be an expert on the reverse sweep, because he played a shot before. He had just come to the crease. He hasn't got very many runs, and his team is in a bit of trouble, in deep trouble. But he just came back and executed another reverse sweep, which went for 6, I think it was.
Pull away, Arnos is on it, and it gone for 6. The Frank Thomas Pavilion and the spectators, they're in immortal danger for that shot. Well, what a youngster and a powerful shot.
Yeah, a very good shot there by Arnos. He has to use these 2 shots as momentum builders and confidence builders, really. He hasn't played much cricket in this VPL, because I know he missed quite a number of games for the Darkview Explorers, but he has gotten the opportunity now. He has 13 off 5 balls, those two shots undoubtedly would have given him some confidence. So he should just use this. They've already qualified, so use this as an opportunity to build confidence going forward.
Sensible batting, top this one into the cover region. Temperature for 1, 78 needed from 24 balls. Do we see it's gettable here with the attitude of Arnos looking to hit a ball over the rope? Well, it's a question to ask. End of the 6th over, 32 for 4, Arnos 14 from 6, Brown, he's on 1 from 1. The Dark View Explorers, they're really taking a swim under the waterfall at the Dark View Falls, and that brings Thomas. Thomas comes into the attack, right arm off spin, and it seems to be a spin attack being deployed here by Captain Pope.
Yeah, well, Arnos is obviously taking the attack to the Fort Charlotte strikers. That's the only way they can win this game. They've lost 4 wickets already. They need 78 off 24 balls, and this calls for a lot of aggression. And Arnos has shown the approach that he has is the correct approach. What he has to guard against now is to be too overconfident and try to hit a good delivery, which is not there for the hitting.
Can we see all the deliveries? We have to get a reverse sweep. That one misses as this temperature for 1. As you rightly said, it seems to be a shot that he fancies a lot. Bye. We run through for a bye. Brings Dean on strike. Dean also is a hard hitter, Romel, and he also he doesn't have the luxury of looking at that balls this time. But from this time on, he has to take it helter skelter.
Yeah, and he's capable of doing so. He has shown that throughout the tournament, where he just came in and he was able to just hit those boundaries. So he's capable. They have to go in excess of 20 runs per over, so they don't have any choice, really. The wicket is still a good wicket in my estimation. He'll be hitting to the western end, so he should fancy his chances of clearing the boundaries quite easily. Thomas now has to keep it as wide as possible off the off stump to
straight hit. A straight hit. You call it a corner straight drive. Goes into the boundary 4, and it was powerfully struck.
Yeah, that was well struck. As I was saying, Thomas really has to bowl wide of the off stump, in my opinion, because anything straight, he can hit it straight. If it gets a bit down to on the leg side, he can hit it with the wind over the boundary. So, in my opinion, his line ought to be just outside off stump, wide of the crease.
Well, wide you ask for, a little bit wider. This one they're coming back for the second. No. A little bit of collision between the batsman and the bowler. Nothing of great concern. 38 for 4. We're into over number 7. 72 from 20, Finlay. How do you call it?
That's difficult. It will take a super effort by Arnos and Brown. They're both capable of getting the runs. They're both capable of striking the ball, but the bowlers are bowling pretty well, and so it will be risky for them to do that.
Wide delivery this time by the bowler Thomas.
Yes, they'll have to take a lot of risks in going for these runs, but that's what they have to do. That's what limited overs cricket is about, and more so in a 10-over side game. You got to take a lot of risk.
This one is wide, could be caught, taken. Arnos goes on the point boundary, and they loses their 5th wicket. The Dark View Explorers really jungling from the Dark View Falls. They are 39 for 5 for Romel.
Yeah, a well bowled by Thomas. There was a clear plan, obviously, by Thomas bowling wide of the crease. They had a deep point, a deep extra cover, a long off, so the plan was clear. It was unfortunate that Arnos didn't get enough power behind that shot, or timing, if you will, to clear the boundary. But good going by Dark View Explorers, not by Dark View Explorers, sorry, by Fort Charlotte strikers. They just have to continue in this vein, and they'll look to close out this game pretty easily.
Well, brings Kevin Abraham into the crease. Well, Joe Matoni, sorry, that is. He has some similar feature to Kevin. Joe Matoni it is. And Brong is still there, 6 from 3, 39 for 5. We're into over number 7. Bowl him, a swing and hit the top of the middle stump. Thomas takes his second wicket. Well, the Dark View Explorers, can we say they are done and dusted? I do not want to make that call, but Finley, from an export position, I think you have the license to say.
That was a bad shot. You've just come to the wicket. You haven't faced the ball, and you. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Well, I suppose he got carried away by the 6 he got earlier. That was a lovely 6, a good straight 6, and the bowler I think pegged it back. He got a nice half volley, a juicy half volley from the first delivery he faced, and he struck it well. Good 6. Then the bowler pulled it back a bit. And he went for the same shot, but he didn't connect, and he was bowled. So the team is in a lot of trouble now. The 39 for 6. It is almost impossible. They need 71 off 18 balls. I'm not sure if they have the capacity to do that.
Well, questions are asked here. Remember the second game, we will see the Grenadine Divers. They will come up against the Lassafree Hikers. And given the way that the Fort Charlotte Strikers are going here, if they goes on to win this game, they will move up 6 points on the table. The Grenadine Divers, they're sitting on 4, so it will be a must win for the Grenadine Divers. The Lassafree Hikers, they're on 5. They're on 5 points. So whoever wins that game, they're in a good position. If the Grenadine Divers wins that game, that means the Fort Charlotte Strikers and the Grenadine Divers, they will be sitting on 6 points each.
Yeah, so that is why it is imperative that the Fort Charlotte Strikers close out this game as early as possible to give the net run rate a bit of impetus in the event the next game turns out in their favor.
Well, Roy will ask of questions of O.J. Walters. Walters comes to the crease, 41 for 6. We're into over number 8. 69 needed from some 16 legitimate deliveries. And, well, I don't think this is a time where you will really need to watch the ball. It's just see ball, hit ball kind of attitude. Down the ground by Tony. Cannot pass small. Goes 2 for 1. Only one you could get from that. Good bowling here, I must say, by the Fort Charlotte Strikers. We must give them that kudos. They bowl very well. They deploy their bowlers sensibly with that over that from Jordan that starts with a somewhat. This one is down the ground. Can it go for 4? No. Can't pass. Spencer chose that one powerfully. We will see Jordan coming back into the attack for maybe the last or the penultimate over, and this could determine the nature of the game somewhat. Maybe our viewers who have already called it done and dusted, from our point here, really can't call it, but natural cricket sense will prevail from here. Dream 11. We thank our friend, the fan code, V3.
Come on, Casnell, man. Come on, Casnell. The writing is already on the wall, man. The writing is already on the wall. It's almost impossible for the Dark Blue Explorers to cross the boundary.
This one is struck fiercely out to the boundary. What a shot there by Tony. Tony now is signaling, well, it's not over yet, Romel. I could still hit some National Lottery 3. The boundary brings up 47 for 6. Well, can Tony do the miraculous? That's well, not a rarity, but a good delivery that beats the outside edge at this time of the game. the Dark View Explorers, therefore, the 7 for 6 at over number 8. And at this stage, the Lost of Free Hikers, they were 83 for 4. And Walters, he's on 2 from 2. Well, Tony is on 6 from 4. We are seeing Thomas coming back into the attack. So the penultimate over is bowled by Thomas, and I think Jordan, if by my collection, will finish things off. Well, we will see Thomas at this time. He has 2 wickets so far from his first over.
Well, they will have to hit. They have to go at over 30 runs and over if they were to achieve a victory here.
See, your super sixes will be welcome.
That will mean over 10 sixes.
Well, missed out on one here. Walters, dot delivery. A welcome dot delivery at this time. Something that the 4 Charlotte Strikers will be accustomed to, not the Dark View Explorers. That one down the ground. They're going for 1. Could they come for 2? Jordan is onto it very quickly. Thomas is bowling very well. A gentle off-break bowler. He's not really pushing it through, and he's asking the batsman to manufacture their own shot. And he comes around to the left-hander, so he will just slightly use the angle and carry it across to the right-hander. This one is cut to point. This camper for 1. Could be a run out. Could be a run out. Not out, says Empire Blaze. Well, 49 for 6. We're into over number 9 halfway. Finley, what do you call of it? I believe you could make a really serious adjudication at this time.
You want to know how many they'll make? Getting the runs is impossible. You can't get those.
He's out. He's out. Looking to heave that one. Walters looking to go over the long on boundary. Only manages to meet the number 49 player there. And he goes, and Thomas takes his 3rd wicket of the innings. Caught Stowe, that is, and bowled Thomas. Well, Jahil Walters goes for 3. A very poor performance, we will say, by the Dark View Explorers so far.
Poor batting. They never picked the right ball to hit. They got 1 or 2 good shots. They picked up a couple of boundaries, including some sixes. But those were virtually half volleys, and they never came to terms with the fact that the 4 Charlotte Strikers were bowling well. And they bowled well. You have to give them that. They bowled well. They went through the early part of the Dark View Explorers batting, and they continue taking wickets. And in a limited overs game, if you're taking wickets regularly, you're virtually on top all the time of the game, and that's what happened. 4 Charlotte Strikers were ahead in every over. Every time they can do hit a 6 or a 4, but they were.
This one is struck down the ground for 6 runs by Tony. A late cameo by Tony. Struck fiercely down the ground for 6. A super 6. Welcome boundary. And Thomas wide again. Down the ground. They're going for 1. They could come back for 2. No, they settle for 1 at this time. So it's end of the over. 56 for 7. Tony 14. Williams yet to score. 54 from 6 runs. Romel. Can we see a miraculous extra, and all that? The word miraculous is all caps.
Well, save and accept a barrage of no balls and wides, we've entered into the realm of the impossibility. Yeah, so like I said, it's just a matter of the 4 Charlotte Strikers closing this game out and ensuring that their net run rate gets a boost. Because it is statistically possible for them to qualify. Unlikely, but still possible. But the ending it off here with Lavia is surprising not to see Jordan, who bowled a maiden over first up. So I'm not too sure about the thinking of the Captain Pope.
Well, Lavia will finish things off. A full delivery, swing down the ground. Spencer comes around and cleans up. return to just restrict to 1, 57 for 7. And remember, the next game coming up will be the Grenadine Divers. They will play the Lassafree Hikers. And these are two teams that is sitting on 4 and 5 points respectively. And this game will look all dusted for the Dark Explorers. A no ball, a cardinal thing that we have not seen for the match so far, have been committed in the last over of the business end. And the Dark Explorers, they are on 8 points. And the Fort Charlotte Strikers, they're on 4, so they automatically will move to 6 points, I believe, if they win this game. Short delivery, cut away over to short third man, and that goes for 4. A welcome boundary by the Dark Explorers, 62 for 7. Williams 4 runs, 48 required from 4 deliveries.
Well, the boundaries are coming too late. The boundaries are coming way too late now. But they are in the playoffs. They've qualified. They're still going to remain at 3. So they're going to play the 4th place team. So they should use this as an opportunity to take advantage of, get some practice, some much needed practice.
But Rommel, the going into the eliminators after this game, and you will want a momentum to go into the eliminators. On a losing note, there are things that will baffle your mind going into the eliminators. Teams will be looking at where you made shortcomings. This one is in the air, could be taken. The man at square leg settles, drops it. My goodness me. It's reckless cricket there. Unacceptable. And it's dropped there at square leg. He settled himself. And Kato, with his wealth of experience, dropped that one. Lavier. This one is dropped out to the boundary. Could go into the boundary. Now it's 1 bounce. Yes, 4 runs to the total. And Rommel, I think the captain would have closed off with Jordan and try to restrict the net run rate at this time to give them even a better position.
Yeah, as I said before, it's a bit surprising that Gideon Pope opted for Lavier, but that's how it is sometimes.
Good Yakalent delivery into the legs. Settle for 1. Brings the innings to a close. And there it is. The Dark View Explorers, they have lost. And the Fort Charlotte Strikers, they have won. And a little bit of greetings. 69 for 7 of the 10 over the won by 41 runs. Very disappointing innings there, Rommel, to what we were expecting from the Dark View Explorers.
Yeah, extremely disappointing innings. Look, they came off the back of a string of victories, and to come here now and lose the way they have done, it doesn't spell good for them at all. Losing becomes a habit. Yeah, I thought that they had gotten the winning habit with their victories, but this show today, they really have to go back and address some of the issues that they faced today. This is a knockout stage, as you mentioned. They will only have 1 chance. You lose, you snooze. All right, but they still have a fairly decent team. I just thought it was a bit of complacency. I know Mikey spoke about it earlier when after Miles Bascom batted the maiden over and the other overs really didn't see enough impetus. So there's a bit of overconfidence and a bit of complacency, believing in themselves too much without continuing to do the things that they did so well in the past couple of days, not taking anything for granted. So really, they have to reassess. Well, the scorecard is now up, and there's really nothing to show there. Really nothing. Miles Bascom 5, Diane Graves 8, all going under a strike rate of 100. Atenez impressed briefly, but never seemed to get going. Jomo Tony, he struck a little bit there, but it was all to a losing cause. So yeah, the batting really, they have let themselves down. They have done well. They did well before, but in this game they certainly have let themselves down. And as I said before, I believe it's because of a lack of, overconfidence really, and a lack of impetus, right? So they really have to address that going forward.
Yeah, but and let's look at the bowling for the 4 Charlotte Strikers, because I believe that the captain really deployed the bowlers, and from the get-go, that maiden over would have set the momentum to the run chase, and to get a maiden over to start from Rick Jordan. That was his only over in the innings, and I think that really set it up. That really set it up for what would have been a tale of two tapes for the run chase.
Yeah, the 4 Charlotte Strikers, I think, all round bowl extremely well. Jordan set the momentum at the very start. Fredericks, I think he has been extraordinarily well. He has done extraordinarily well throughout the tournament for the 4 Charlotte Strikers, and it was evident that they were bowling to a plan. You know, there was not seen in the games prior to this one by the 4 Charlotte Strikers. So they must have had a serious meeting, a serious assessment of how they were going about things. And it was very, very evident now. Fredericks bowled well, as I said, economy rate of 5.1. Small, as we saw, slowed down his pace considerably, and taking 2 wickets, an important wicket of Miles Bascombe. Stuart Williams, he got a bit of an off day, but not too bad either. And Thomas, we haven't seen much of him, but I think he bowled extremely well. He was able to bowl consistently outside of the off stump, not bowl into the comfort zones of the batsmen at hand. So I think he coming in the middle overs really put the icing on the cake, so to speak, for the 4 Charlotte Strikers. It's unfortunate that they really have come to the party at this time. I would have loved to see them do what they're doing now, back then. But who's to tell? There is still a statistical possibility that they can qualify, depending on how the other game goes. So best of luck to the 4 Charlotte Strikers and, of course, the Darkview Explorers.
And if we look at the point standing, because we have the Grenadine Divers coming up against the Lassafree Hikers. Now, the point standing as the Darkview Explorers, from the 8 matches, they have lost 4. The 4 Charlotte, 8 matches, they have lost 4 as well, but they've won 2. Now, that put them at 6 points. Now, we have the Grenadine Divers. They have to win against the Lassafree Hikers if they are to really be on the same wavelength of the 4 Charlotte Strikers. Net run rate will come into play there. If the Lassafree Hikers do then win, then we see a clear 1-point majority. And let's already clear the air with the Botanic Garden Rangers and the Sarpon Breakers. They're sitting well. But the battle for supremacy there is between the Lassafree Hikers, the Darkview Explorers, and the 4 Charlotte Strikers.
Well, I'm looking now at the points. It doesn't seem as though the Lassafree Hikers can qualify, because if you get 2 points, for victory, that would take them to 7. So if they were to lose to the Darkview, well, no, that's the Darkview Explorers has 8. We just saw them there. I'm talking about the Grenadine Divers, sorry. Where's the Grenadine Divers there? At the top, the divers, yeah, they have